Good afternoon, gang gang. What's going on? You know what I can't stand, gang gang? Self-righteous people stuck on their high horses that walk around with a huge God complex but are the main source of the negativity in your life. These are the people that are negative influences that play on your innocence, play on the part of you that is naive, and then sit back and watch you self-destruct and then point the finger and be like, see, I told you. Or people that poke the bear, poke, antagonize, ostracize, criticize, just keep on oppressing you and keep doing things so that you can respond in an inhumane way or a negative way, so they could say, see, I told you they have anger problems. See, I told you they're abusive. See, I told you they're psycho. See, I told you they're crazy. If you are encouraging somebody to have sex before they are even 10 years old, you're a negative influence. If you are watching that person go through psychological or emotional or mommy or even daddy issues, and then you're sitting back pointing a finger and laughing at them, get some help. 9 times out of 10 you played a part in it somewhere along the line. And I'm just sick of people like this. It's like you do things to muck up a person's energy, and then you sit back and then you criticize them. You come into their life, you F up, stank up, separate, break apart family bonds, family ties that have been established for years, healthy relationships that you obviously couldn't stomach, and you waited until the moment for you to put in your 2 cents, you know what I'm saying, do what you do. And then you sit back and you point the finger and you talk a bunch of smack. But yet, you don't want nobody to clock your tea. Half of these people that are in your life, in my life, are the main sources of negativity. These are the negative influences. You can't let jealous people come into your space. You can't let somebody that envies you, that never can give you a compliment. I had a family member that will always come around me and have something negative to say. And yet this was a female and someone very, very close to me that I used to look up to. I can't believe I ever looked up to this person. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't do my homework. I just gave them the benefit of the doubt because of who they were. So I understand where some of y'all have gone wrong, because that's human behavior, to give someone the benefit of the doubt because of their stature or who they are. They wouldn't lie, they wouldn't do this, they wouldn't do that, but because of who they are, they would. So you have to reverse that, you understand? But this is the main person that didn't have any successful relationships with their own children. They had at least 8 kids, at least 7 different baby daddies, okay? And like I said, everybody's grown. Some of the children, this person doesn't even speak to, don't know where they are. All the siblings are all grown up, and only 4 of them were connected because they were adopted in the same family setting. The rest are all spread all around the world. Nobody knows where anybody is, and this person that gave life to these children are okay with that. They're not seeking to look for them. They don't care what's going on with them. One of the children, I was told they gave that child away because the father was abusive. What happens when that child is 18 and 21? Do you still stay away? Do you never talk to them ever again? I don't understand that. And yet, this was somebody that gave me away. Came back in the picture at 16, a major negative influence in my life. saw the relationship that I had genuine, beautiful, not perfect. But I had a genuine relationship with my children, all of them. There's only 2 children of mine that are estranged, that the relationship is severely damaged because of this negative influence in my life. This person, that's why I'm getting to my point. Jealousy is very, very dangerous. It's worse than a gun, baby. If you got somebody in your life that is jealous, that's harboring some type of resentment because they're not happy with the mistakes that they made in their life or the choices that they made in their life, you have to evaluate who should be in your life, who should be around you, who should be around anybody that's precious to you or anything that's precious to you. A job, a project, a hobby, a child, a pet, a friend, a neighbor. It doesn't matter. If your heart is connected, if there's a heart bond, there could be a trauma bond. If you allow negative influences to evade your space in the minds of other people. And like I said, this person, she failed at being a mother. She failed at being a credible person. She failed at so many different things and sat back and just waited like a snake to pounce at the right opportunity. I never was rich, but when I had money, especially around income tax season, I would take my child to the nail salon. I would take my child to the hair salon. I got pictures to prove what I am saying. Since the day my daughter was born, my baby had dresses, my baby had Uggs, stuff that I never even bought for myself. Facts. I was ecstatic when I had my first daughter. And mind you, another negative influence, the father of that child, tried to get me to abort that blessing. Tried to get me to abort that child. And little did I know that this person had a sick obsession when it comes to kids. Mainly girls. And I should have known, but like I said, back in those days and those times, I was 16, he was 22. I was very naive. I really didn't know what the red flags were at that age. But pedophile should have been on my alert. You live and you learn. You know, you pick yourself up, you dust yourself off. Nobody gets everything right the first time. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody, unfortunately. But you live and you learn. So this message is just mainly watch out for the negative influences that are in your life. These are the people that will pretend to care so much about you, but sit back and take silent notes on your growth, on your happiness, what makes you sad, what makes you tick, what you like, what you don't like. They're just taking notes silently. Like, you know, silently, and then they're waiting for that moment to strike. And then when they do strike, it's never their fault. They never had anything to do with it. It's all your fault. You're the negative one. You're the bad one. You should have known better. You should have thought enough for you and that person, of course, to the way that they think. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of the negative influences in my life were family members. And it's all connected. It's a lot of the pieces that I'm trying to help you guys put together, or trying to just simply put the pieces together for you guys. It's a lot of people in my life that played a part in being a negative influence. Okay? A lot of people. And the main people were the ones that were the closest to me. If these people didn't do what they did, I would be a lot further in life. I wouldn't be in a housing complex. No offense to anybody that's on any type of housing, because housing is very helpful to anybody that is in need. But me, I've always been prideful and always been ambitious and always been one to gain confidence through my achievements. I'm a high school grad. I'm a college grad. You know, I was limping to college with a boppy pillow up against my abdomen straight after giving birth via C-section. I'm that person. You understand? So when you are highly vibrational in your life and don't even realize it, you got other people who's in their demons, they get irritated by your light. The light is your divinity, and the demons, it gets the best of people that feel they don't have the same amount of light as you, or the same amount of ambition as you, or the same amount of motivation or pride or self-respect as you do. And they go out of their way to make themselves feel better. And the only way they can make themselves feel better is by tearing you down. Whoever makes them feel some type of way, is not in their best interest to learn from inspiration and take that and grow. No, they have to annihilate you. They have to get rid of you. In their mind, this is how you grow. This is how you be successful. Father of my child, biggest negative influence in my life. A couple of mother figures, very big negative influences in my life. You let them tell the story, I'm the worst person in the world. I got anger problems. I'm the wicked, wicked monster of the West. I got 5 eyes and 3 tails. Like, you know what I'm saying? Pay attention to the venom that's going on around you, okay? Protect your peace, protect your children, protect your pets, protect your hobbies, protect your projects. Don't let nobody know what you got going on. Don't let nobody get too close. Don't let nobody get in your circle. Keep your legs shut. Keep your mind on your ambitions and your hobbies and your goals. And keep your circle this big. I feel like this is even too big. You feel me? But keep it that big. Okay? Because these people don't understand accountability. These people don't understand putting in the work to heal, grow, and evolve. That's corny to them. That's like singing Barney. Lame, boo. This is how they think. And they're 60 and 50 and 40 and 30 years old thinking like that. These people are very emotionally immature. Very, very immature people. And they're going to die that way. They refuse to look at themselves. They refuse to heal from their own childhood wounds. They refuse to grow. And these are the type of people that feel they ought to punish you if you speak up or speak out against their wicked ways. If you announce family business, you need to be exiled. I'm one of them people that is a proud believer. If somebody does you a certain type of way, it's your right to speak up on it. I don't care how you feel about it. And you don't have the power or the right to play God in my life because I'm speaking the truth. I've never told you guys any fabricated stories. God strike me down. From the family members, a rape happening to my daughter by a close family member. And then other family members covering it up. We're going to treat her like she's a scapegoat. We're going to treat her like she's nothing but a liar. So that way we can get away with this horrendous crime. That's what they did. I can't believe their last name is what it is, because they're far from what their last name is. That's a joke. They need to be called the Devils. The family of the Devils. That's what they are. I told you what was done to my child, and you told me it was in my best interest to do what I was going to do. I told you that I was going to speak up and stand up about it. Oh, yeah, you should do that. Then when I turn around, you're collaborating with a cop in the family about how y'all can sweep this under the rug like you swept all the other secrets under the rug. People like that, you need to stay far away from. Why would you want to be around somebody that always want to sweep stuff under the rug? If they're sweeping up their dirt under the rug that they've done toward other people, what makes you think they won't sweep under the rug what they do to you? Even if you work with a snake, Snakes ain't loyal. Eventually, you're going to get bit. You really think that what they do to you, they won't sweep under the rug just like they swept all their other secrets up under the rug? You really think that they're going to stop being a negative influence because it's you? Please think about it. My life of damn near got destroyed by these devils, these devil rejects that decided to play certain parts in my life. And I was very kind and giving. I really never deserved the rape towards my daughter. The person that raped her gave her STDs. He put his penis, his nasty, dirty penis in my child's mouth. Ejaculated. And I'm sorry if this is too blunt for certain people. This might be a bit sensitive, but it's the truth. And this person is being praised? Go walking around calling himself chosen? What? Chosen to rape people? That's what you chosen to do? I hope I never see this person ever again in my life, because I don't even know what I would do. But it probably wouldn't be the best thing to do, because you ain't coming nowhere near my daughters. And then you tried to get your hands on my younger ones, but that was stopped right in the track. And it hurts me when I think about it, to know how much I trusted you, had you around my children, was very, very close to you. Out of all the siblings, I'm the one you fucked over, but I was the most giving to you. You stayed in my house, rent-free. You ate my food. I never asked you for a dime. I gave you the keys to my car. And you betray me like this to my daughter. Like I said, because I gave you the benefit of the doubt because of who you were, I didn't think nothing of it. And that's where I went wrong. Oh, that's my such and such. He would never, Oh, they're just upstairs, they're talking, playing, or whatever. I was that naive because of who the person was. Never give a person the benefit of the doubt. No, make them earn that honor. I don't care if it's your mother, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle. Never give anybody the benefit of the doubt because of who they are. That is the number one way to get screwed over. And if you don't listen to me and you do exactly what I'm telling you not to do, you will live to regret it. You will. You're going to rot in hell for what you did. And I'm pretty sure when you got booked, you lied to everybody in prison about why you were there. Just like you lied to family members to have them turn their back on me when I never deceived the family. I never did anything to deserve this. Even if you feel me speaking up about family secrets was a form of betrayal, that still doesn't amount to the amount of deceit that you have laid upon me and my children. And it wasn't enough to rape my child and hurt her and give her STDs. You had to lie to the rest of the family to get them to cover for you. And like I said, a whole cop? You ought to be disgusted in yourself. How are you a cop? You took a vow to protect civilians, but like I said, I guess it only depends on certain people that you feel deserves protection. If this was your child and it's the same family member, would it still be okay? You're so freaking self-centered and selfish. I know the answer to that question. It's okay for my child to be raped, but not yours, right? It's okay for the crime to be covered up in regards to my child. But had it been yours, that person wouldn't have made it to jail. There would have been some street justice all up in throat. You know I'm not lying. You're a hypocrite and I don't respect you. I don't fear you. I hope I never see any of y'all except for the day in court. And then like I said, and it's by the grace of God that I'm still happy and sane and can still wake up and smile every day. I guess because I'm away from these people. If I still had to be around these people in the same city and state as these people and had to take these rejections and these trauma bonds, I think I would have probably spazzed out for the worst by now. I don't know. But it's better for me to be away from these people, miles and miles away, hours and hours away, and never see them ever again. That's how I heal. That's how I cope. Knowing that I will never see these people again. I'm okay with that. I'm more than okay with that. Knowing that they will never be around my children, never get the chance to hurt me ever again. That's enough for me to be happy for the rest of my life. And it doesn't matter that they're trying to come for my money and all this other stuff. That's materialism. You can't take that with you when you die. And while you're on earth, the main important things are your peace of mind, your health, and your sanity. Anything else is water under the bridge. So that's why I have so much power over these people. I got condos in their heads, baby. They will never stop thinking about me. They will never stop trying every second of the day, every day of the week, every week of the year, to try to make my life hell, to try to take away the bag, to try to stop me from speaking, to try to hide my profile. This is what they live to do because of their sins. They got blood on their hands. They know that they were the most negative influences of my life, and they tried to create the most trajectory. Can't even get the word out. You know? Especially with me being touched after being adopted by a family member. And then this is the main family member that touched me, passed me around, and then had the nerve to try to call me a hoe. So it wasn't whorish of you to do what you did to me. Does that make you a saint? You know what I'm saying? But again, these people, it's like they have memory loss when you bring up certain dirt, when you bring up certain things. Oh, that never happened. Oh, you're lying. Oh. Whole family member of people lying. And I guess because they're men and they feel they can stick together and they can have more people jump on board. Like I said, they can just cast me out. But what happens when you die? I mean, these are atheists that I'm talking about anyway, that act like missionaries and pastors and crap. And I feel like after dealing with such hypocrisy and deceit, and forgive me for saying this, Christians are the worst. Church folk are the worst. That's how I truly feel. Like, growing up in a church whole environment, growing up in church, being a church baby, basically like being in church 5 times a week, damn near, you know, choir and all that, and then having these hypocrites as parents. Church folk are the worst. Absolutely. It's no wonder I am half Christian, half spiritual to this day. I haven't stepped foot in a church in so long. I don't need a church to have a bond with God. Even God said in the Bible that he will take care of the church before the people, because the people are full of sinners. All they do is gather around in circles and cliques and point fingers and talk about people. You got a bunch of, you got the pastors touching on people. You just got a lot of nonsense. If you want some dirt, go to church. All the drama, all the secrets, all the downloads, everything is up in there. That's why they're there. I've come to the realization that people don't go to church for salvation. People go to church to get away from what they do behind closed doors. That's what they go. Church is just a place for people to play show and tell. You don't need to go to a building to read your Bible. You don't need to go to a building to be ministered through gospel. You don't need a church building full of sinners to tell you how to grow religiously. You don't. And these Christians are the biggest hypocrites. Biggest. But I ain't here for all that. I'm just speaking on negative influences, and Christians happen to be on that list too. Be careful who you allow in your inner circle. Be careful who you allow in your space. Be careful who you connect with, tell your secrets to, all that. Because I'm telling you, and yes, my dog got to my blind, but it's okay. I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna get me a new one. Be careful, y'all, because I'm trying to tell you, like, these people, these are the people that envy you, and they're sitting back waiting for their moment to swap and switch places. These are those type of people. Like I said, every mishap I had in my life came from a negative influence, and these negative influences are not even strangers. They were family. I was just there for them to do certain things, to try to take my spot and push me out. I feel like that was my whole purpose of being adopted in the first place. I never had a personal bond with these people. I only had a personal bond with my 4 biological siblings. That's a fact. That's why I'm so blown away by being betrayed by those 4 biological siblings. No, 3 out of the 4 of those biological siblings. But even the one that didn't betray me in a way did, because he didn't believe half the shit that was going on, and he just took off, got married, and just lived his life. Okay? Do you? Shout out to you and the wifey. Have a great life. And that's cool. We never speak again. But you and I were the closest. And I never deserved all the bullshit that came to me from our siblings and from other people in the family. And for you to know some of the dirt and know what was going on and not believe and just to simply decide, oh, I'm crazy, write me off as crazy, and then just dip off into another city or state, that's pretty hurtful. You know? But it's okay. We live and we learn. And I ain't holding no grudges. It's your life. Do what you want. But one day you're going to realize the type of people that you honored and cherished, and realize that they're not as clean as you thought. And that goes for that sibling and for you. So that's all I got to say in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Be careful and just stay to yourself and keep your mind on your goals and your ambitions and your dreams. Peace and light. Bye.